Hi, I'm Julie Bank, the Superintendent of Animal Welfare for the City of Oklahoma City. And we're here for the May edition of Animal Tales TV, the show about Oklahoma City animals and the people who love them. With me is my beautiful co-host named Smokey. Smokey is a 4-year-old little boy that's hanging out on my lap, but he would prefer to be roaming around the studio right now. He's looking for a new forever home to call his own. He's a great representation of all the other kitties that we have available right now at the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter. Now we have a terrific show for you today. First, we're going to learn about animals in the Oklahoma City parks. We're also going to hear about a special week in May called Be Kind to Animals Week. And it's an opportunity for you and your family to get involved to make a difference in the lives of animals. It's also disaster time, so we're going to share with you some disaster preparedness tips to help keep you and your family, including your four-legged family, safe. But right now, we'd like to show you some adoption success stories of animals that were adopted from the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter.
You know, I give, and it's just never enough.
Seriously?
When people take you for granted, what can you do?
Water the grass, not the street!
Using drought-tolerant plants, watering early in the morning, adding some mulch, it's not that hard. If we want to use our water wisely, we gotta squeeze more out of every drop.
SqueezeEveryDrop.com. Oh, I gotta go. I got a date with a lake.
Did you know that the arts make a significant impact on education, the economy, and our quality of life in Oklahoma? Providing more than 10,000 jobs statewide, filtering more than $314 million into our economy? Yes, the arts create all kinds of beautiful things. And making Oklahoma an even better place to live is the most beautiful thing of all. It doesn't take a big donation to make big things happen. Support Allied Arts today. A little give is all it takes.
Welcome back to the show. For my first guest, we have the Oklahoma City Parks and Recreation Department spokesperson, Jennifer McClintock. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for letting me be here.
So happy to talk about the parks with you today, but before we do that, who's this little guy?
This is Fred, and he's a 3 to 4 month old shepherd mix, and he's just a real cutie ready for a new home.
Yes, he's ready for adoption at the Oklahoma City shelter right now, and he's being pretty calm, but if not, he can go kind of run around the studio.
Absolutely.
So Oklahoma City has such amazing parks. As a new resident of the city, I've been excited to be able to explore all the different parks and to do so many things outdoors. Tell me a little bit about the parks and more specifically about the pet policy in the parks.
Well, we have 156 parks throughout the Oklahoma City area, and that includes all areas out far and all those here in the core. And we really love having all of our animal friends in the park. We have a lot of trails for our pet parents to go walk and run their animals on, but we also have leash laws. And we do request that anyone who wants to bring their animals to our parks to please keep them on a leash. It's not only for the safety of the animals, but it's for the safety of all of the people who go out and enjoy our parks.
Now we know that sometimes people want to let their animals exercise,
right?
Though. So are there places that they can go to keep
their
animal off leash?
There are 2 off-leash animal parks. One is at the Murray Botanical Gardens here downtown, and one of them is the Paw Park, which is up by Lake Hefner, and it's very popular. There's a water pond there that they can let their dogs go swimming. There's a small dog park. There's a large dog park. So there are a lot of opportunities for those dogs to run and socialize off leash.
Now let's talk a little bit about why you wouldn't just allow your dogs off leash. I know for you it would be fun to just kind of let your dog run, but how does that impact other people?
Well, you know, we do have a lot of people who use our parks, whether they're small children, they're the elderly, some of them might be in wheelchairs, some of them might be with strollers. And so when a strange animal approaches them, we don't always know how the animal is going to react to some of the people, especially young toddlers running around, or how that toddler might react to a strange animal. They might be fearful, they might act aggressively. And so it's in the best interest of everyone and their safety that we keep our dogs on leash and in control of their owner at all times.
Now I know there are some parks that you can't even bring your animal to. How would they find out information about what the rules of each each park are?
Well, really, there's only one park where animals are not allowed at all, and that's at our Martin Park Nature Center. And that's because that is an area where we really want our residents to engage with the wildlife there. And so then you're asking the dogs and the wildlife to be put into a situation which could be potentially hazardous for each. We really want to keep that park an area where people can enjoy wildlife in a pristine way. We want to encourage the wildlife to be there, and if they smell domesticated animals or they get the idea that there are pets around, then the wildlife might not be as welcoming and they might not want to come out as much.
And since you talked about wildlife, there's wildlife all over the parks and all over Oklahoma City. How do people live in harmony when they're at the park with wild animals? Should they feed them? Should they pick them up? What are the types of things that they should do?
Well, we would really discourage any feeding. In many instances, it can interrupt the migratory patterns, especially of the birds. We know people really love to go out and feed the ducks and geese, and it's certainly a fun thing to do with little children. But especially the Canadian geese, we've seen that they have changed their migratory patterns when we start to feed them, because they become dependent upon that food source, and then they won't necessarily leave to go to where they need to be over winter.
Right, and we talked at a different episode of Animal Tales TV about what to do if you found a baby bird or a squirrel and how to live in harmony. So this is great information to be able to attach to that. Now I know that we're jointly putting on a event in one of your parks coming up.
We are.
Tell us about that event.
It's a pet festival. It's going to be at the Melrose Recreation Center on May 7th from noon until 4 p.m. We're going to have a pet costume contest. There will be a pet look-alike contest. If you happen to look like your pet, you can bring your pet in and we'll have a contest for that. All kinds of crafts, activities for both the animals and their pet parents. And it's just going to be a fun time to celebrate pets and their owners. And of course, we're also going to have adoptions from the Oklahoma City Animal Welfare.
So to wrap up, tell us one amazing thing about the park that people can expect and where they can find out more information.
You can find all the information that we have on our website at okc.gov/parks, and you can find all about our parks, our camps, our summer programs, and of course our pet rules as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here
Thanks
today. I'm so excited to explore more of the parks as we go, and I thank you very much for all the work that the parks do in the community. It really makes our city special, and I thank you for that.
Well, thanks for letting me come on.
Yeah, thank you. Right now, I'd like to turn us over to take a look at some of our animals available for adoption. We call this episode Animal Welfare Selfies or Welfies.
You know, I give, and it's just never enough.
Seriously?
When people take you for granted, what can you do?
Water the grass, not the street!
Using drought-tolerant plants, watering early in the morning, adding some mulch, it's not that hard. If we want to use our water wisely, we gotta squeeze more out of every drop.
SqueezeEveryDrop.com. Oh, I gotta go. I got a date with a lake.
Down here. That dog has a thirsty look in his eye. Did you know that it's really not that hard to save water? Like here in the sink. Don't make me run too much. Could somebody shut me off? Now this is my kind of party. A full house. Let's roll. Hey, we're in a drought, which means I'm kind of a big deal. So save me. Really? Save me!
Welcome back to the show. With me right now is Jarita Becker, one of the other amazing staff members at Oklahoma City Animal Welfare, and we have like this bundle of cuteness going on here. Who is this?
This is Missy. Not really sure what she is. She's about 2 months old. We think she's maybe a terrier, but we're just calling her a Heinz 57. Female. She's sweet, fun. She's chewing on everything.
And she's silly and gives lots and lots of kisses.
Lots
and
of loving.
She's looking for a home right now.
She is. She's
right?
available for adoption right now.
Terrific. Well, Jarita, thank you so much for being here today. Tell us what you do at the shelter.
I'm the administrative specialist for the division. I oversee all the HR functions, and I'm also the program manager for our community outreach program.
So one of those things that we're going to be talking about today is a special week in the month of May called Be Kind to Animals Week. Tell us about Be Kind to Animals Week and some things that people can do to get involved.
Be Kind to Animals Week is May 1st through May 7th, the first week of the month. It's really just a celebration of animals and their people and the love we have for these animals. We have lots of things going on that week. We're going to have several off-site outreaches, and we're also going to have a volunteer orientation. If you're interested in volunteering, you could come out on Saturday the 7th. That week we also have half-price adoptions. All puppies, dogs, cats, kittens will be $30 for the entire week. So if you've been thinking about adopting a new pet, then come on out and see us at the shelter or at one of our outreaches.
So why is it important for people to be kind to animals? I mean, I know that's such a weird question to ask because we all have that in our heart. But what, from your perspective, do you think makes it important that we are kind to animals in our community?
I just feel like animals, I mean, they help us stay healthy mentally, physically. They're just a part of your family. They're like a kid. They're an extension of your family. And I think it's very important to treat them well because they're going to treat you well. They're going to be so good to you for their whole life.
So, Jarita, you do a lot of fostering at the shelter.
I do,
For
yes.
little guys like this.
Yes.
Tell us about one of the most meaningful fostering experiences you had.
Oh my goodness, last year we had a puppy. He wasn't quite this small, but his name was Lucky, and Lucky had some deformities of both of his front paws, and he walked crippled. He walked on his elbows, and I had the fortune of fostering him prior to having his surgeries and going into our adoption program. I got to foster him, and he was just great. He was the sweetest puppy ever, and the family that ended up with him is just wonderful. He's had more surgeries, and he's running around like a normal dog now. We've seen videos of him, and it was just the greatest experience.
And a lot of the care for Lucky came from our Angel Fund.
Yes.
Tell us about the Angel Fund.
Angel Fund is a program we have.
Toy.
It's an account we have set up that helps our animals in need that need more medical care than what we're able to give them at the shelter. And so when an animal needs care such as Lucky with these special surgeries, we put them in our program, and this fund pays for all their medical expenses.
So people can donate, and people can learn more about Be Kind to Animals Week and more about the animals that are available at the shelter and the outreach events that you run. How could they find out more about that?
You can go to okc.gov/animal welfare, or you can visit our Facebook page. We have an events page that has every event that we are participating in listed on our events page. Love puppy kisses.
Sorry to tell you, everybody, that this is what we get to do with our job.
Yeah, it's a
we
terrible
get to have
job.
puppy kisses. I know.
Terrible job.
But you were saying that the events page.
The events page on Facebook, it's facebook.com/animal welfare. And then there's an events link, and we have all of our events up for a couple of months in advance. So if you're looking at coming out to one, you can find where we'll be there.
Well, Jarita, I just want to tell you thank you for coming on today and for bringing this squirrely little guy on, and for all the work that you do at the animal shelter. You are in charge of many of our community programs, and those are programs that we bring to people in Oklahoma City to help them be better pet owners and to learn more about pets. So thank you. Now I get the kisses. Thank you for all that.
Thank you.
Right now, I would like to pass you along to our wellness tip about disaster preparedness. So I'm going to turn you over to David Wagner.
Well, we're coming upon that time of the year when we get wild, crazy weather here in Oklahoma. And there's some things that you need to think about. If a disaster were to occur, what are you going to do? You want to have a disaster plan. You want to know where to go, and then you also need a disaster kit for your pet. That would include a crate, some bedding, medications, pictures of your pets, and identification for your animal. That would include a microchip, which would be your best option, but you also can have tags on your pet, and just in case the phone lines are down, you want to write the name and number of someone that you know on the inside of the collar so they can be contacted if you can't. So if you do lose a pet, the one thing you can do is go to our website. That's okc.gov/animal welfare. We post pictures of every single animal that comes into our system, and you can also report a found or a lost pet. Remember, Oklahoma City, we're here for you in the event of a disaster, you and your pets. Be safe.
You know, I give, and it's just never enough.
Seriously?
When people take you for granted, what can you do?
Water the grass, not the street.
Using drought-tolerant plants, watering early in the morning, adding some mulch, it's not that hard. If we want to use our water wisely, we got to squeeze more out of every drop.
Squeezeeverydrop.com. Oh, I gotta go. I got a date with a lake.
Did you know that the arts make a significant impact on education, the economy, and our quality of life in Oklahoma? Providing more than 10,000 jobs statewide, filtering more than $314 million into our economy? Yes, the arts create all kinds of beautiful things. And making Oklahoma an even better place to live is the most beautiful thing of all. It doesn't take a big donation to make big things happen. Support Allied Arts today. A little give is all it takes.
Doesn't that feel good? We'll keep those little buggies off you.
Buying pesticides each year can add up. Bet you have leftovers.
But I never know when I might need them.
So many, something's gotta go. I know it's tough,
But
it's just not safe to store so many chemicals. Just take them to Oklahoma City's Household Hazardous Waste Collection Facility. They'll take care of everything. Hey, is that another bottle? Get more info at okc.gov.
If you want to adopt any of the animals that you saw on today's show, you can come down to the shelter. We're open 7 days a week, and we're open from 12 to 5:45. The address is 2811 Southeast 29th Street. Welcome back. We'd like to show you one more wonderful animal available for adoption at the Oklahoma City Animal Shelter. David, tell us about this little guy.
This is Tigger. He's 7 months old. He's ready to go. He is neutered, and he's had all his age-appropriate shots, and he will be your forever friend.
And he's a purr brain right now, which
Yeah.
is great. Well, thank you so much for watching the May edition of our show. But we'd like to end by giving you an important message about how you can get involved with animals in May and any other time. Dorita?
Please spay neuter your pets and don't contribute to the overpopulation problem in Oklahoma City.
David?
Please adopt and volunteer, and you can do that online.
And I'd like to say get involved in whatever way you can. Give animal welfare a donation, as David said, become a volunteer, or just be a responsible pet owner by keeping your animals indoors, vaccinated, and tagged. Thank you so much for watching the show about Oklahoma City animals and the people who love them. We're so excited to bring all this information to you, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
There's nothing like a home improvement project.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with all that leftover paint? Storing items like this can be hazardous. Dumping them in the trash is worse. Fortunately, you have a choice. Paints and other household chemicals are accepted at Oklahoma City's Household Hazardous Waste Collection Facility. Now, doesn't that feel better?
Yeah, but I wasn't done painting my house.
Get more info at okc.gov.